Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 1, then you are in the right place. Today's reading is inspired by the song Zombie Lady by Damiano David. Okay, so since it's still Halloween season and the song is technically about zombie ladies, and it is kind of spooky, but it's more so like a coupley kind of song. We're gonna mix all those things together. So today we're gonna be getting into what kind of couple will you and your partner be. So in the song specifically, he mentions Victor and Emily, which I had to look up. Okay, don't shoot me, right? I think it's from the Corpse Bride, right? So he references the girl he's talking about as being the Emily to his Victor. So we're going to be getting into what kind of couple will you be with your person, your partner, your whoever you want it to be about, the person you're with now, the person you're going to meet, the person you're going to be with, a future spouse, whatever you want it to be about. We're going to get into that. And then we're going to get into basically how the world views you as a couple. So what kind of couple will you be described as, you and your person, okay? So he put on my sweater because she's gonna be all on the camera. So let's just, okay. So I have two decks we're gonna be using. We're going to be using I believe it's the Halloween tarot, okay, and then we're going to be using the My Harry Potter deck. I don't know who made it. I know it was from Etsy. I don't think it's available now, but it was available once upon a time, and my best friend got it for me for my birthday or Christmas. Either way, either one, whatever. So one side is going to be who you are in the connection. This side is going to be who they are, and then we're going to pull a energy about who you guys are together, right? And then based on that, we're going to figure out how the world views you as a couple. So for you, I want to get into the Harry Potter deck because I just love it so much, okay? No, I heard for your person, fine, okay? So excuse me, for my group ones, please spirit, what kind of person will they be viewed as in this connection, my group ones? Your cards are quite chatty already. We have two cards that came out. We have the Queen of Ghosts, the Queen of Cups. So you're going to be the one with all the intuition. You're going to be the emotional, soft girl, okay, the lover girl in your connection. And then we have the Eight of Cups. Interesting. How will you be viewed in the connection, or how will you act in this connection? Maybe you're going to be someone who is always like on to the next thing. Your emotions are like highly evolved. I do believe there's something here about your intuition always growing. I do know the Eight of Cups does primarily represent walking away from something or on to better, bigger things. That's the energy that's coming through for you guys. You're someone who's constantly on the move, on the go, on the uphill, you know? Because Eight of Cups, I'm not satisfied here. I want to be better. I'm, trying to achieve my goals. I want to make my wishes come true. The Eight of Cups is, this is okay, but I want bigger and I want better. So you're going to be known as someone who's always trying to have or make their relationship better. You're always trying to prioritize the emotions of your person. You want to make sure everybody in the connection is happy and satisfied. You never want to be in this energy of, I don't know, I want us to be a 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups relationship. 8 of Cups just won't do, right? So you're someone who's always trying to make the connection evolve into something that's more emotionally healthy. Maybe you are known as the healer in connections or just in general. So of course, if you're a healer in general in the regular real world, okay, you're going to be trying to bring that healing into your connection, okay? And I just heard sexual healing, so that could be important as well. Maybe you're going to be the sexual healer in the connection, okay? But so far we have all cups coming through. For my group ones, please spirit, how will they be viewed in this connection? We have the Page of Bats. So a little bit of a wild card, okay? The Page of Wands is someone who you don't really expect to understand what they're doing or when they're going to be doing stuff. So you may be a little bit of a wild child in this connection. Maybe this person brings that out in you, or you're just usually a really wild kind of person. People don't know what you're going to do next, what you're going to say next, that kind of thing. You're going to be very daring. Someone who's willing to go the extra mile, go out on a limb, try things they've never been, go places they've never been and try things they've never tried before, Definitely a risk taker is how you're going to be coming through in this connection. And I do believe that is tying into also finding some kind of emotional fulfillment, if you're not happy in this connection, you're known as the person who's going to run and leave. So you could be known as the runner in this connection, my group ones, or in any connection, right? If things aren't how you want them to be, how you dream them to be, you're definitely leaving and finding what you want. Okay, you're finding better. My group ones, please, Spirit, how will they be viewed in this connection? I do believe this connection, like I said, brings out your soft side. So people are seeing you as soft. But like I said, you're always doing things every day to make your connection more emotionally healthier, no matter what it takes, you know? So the next card we have coming out is the 9 of Wands. Yeah, so there's something here about you being quite tenacious, not giving up. Sorry. Yeah, they can't even see it. You having a lot of passion and patience for your connection. This is someone who is willing to see things through. You may be usually known as someone who runs away when things get tough, or maybe not. Maybe you always put in the work, which is why the 9 of Wands is coming through. But even if you were seen as someone who like doesn't want to put in the work or work hard for a connection, and as soon as things are going gets tough, you leave. I think in this connection here, you're going to be known as someone who sticks it out. Right? No matter if things are in the 8 of Cups energy with your person right now, you're going to stay until things go back to the 10 of Cups, or until things get to the 10 of Cups. That kind of energy coming through. This person does bring out your more giddy, more childlike nature. So that's something people do notice as well. Anything else coming through? But yeah, 9 of Wands is an energy of no matter how... No, imps is wands. So this page of bats. So is that swords? Huh. I know the imps are wands, right? So the bats would be swords. Interesting. So I was reading this page of bats. It's a page of wands, but it's really the page of swords. I do believe all the pages have the same kind of energy. Just, of course, different suits or different ways of showing them. Maybe you're someone who's quite inquisitive as well. You're someone who wants to know or does know everything about their partner because you asked all the important questions or the hard questions early on. That could be something coming through as well. Wow, I really thought that was the page of wands. No. So very inquisitive. You could be known as the talkative one. You could be known as the one who likes to read and learn. Either way, you're being seen as someone who likes to explore the world around them, you know? Who likes to be in an energy of discovery, right? Never being bored, never getting complacent. You like to keep this exciting in the connection, okay? You could also be known as someone who's always texting on the phone with your partner because, you know, swords represents communication as well. So you're always in communication with your partner throughout the day, stuff like that. And people are like, oh my gosh, you're P-whipped or you're this, you know, because you're always talking to your person. And my response to that would be is I waited so long for this person to come in, mind your bumbleclap business, right? That's my response. But your response could be more cordial or different than mine. But it's kind of like, why would I not be texting my person? That's my person. Like, are you crazy? Anyway, that's how you're coming through. I do want to get some cards for how your person's coming through. How you come through in a connection. Basically, you're coming through as wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, willing to try new things, wanting to keep the connection fresh. You know what I mean? Someone who's always dedicated to the well-being of you and your partner. The Queen of Cups is very much a coddling, I want to take care of and cater to and kiss and hug you. You could be known as someone who likes kissing, you know, and with your partner. This could be how your partner views you as well. Someone who always wants to kiss up on them, you know what I mean? The Queen of Cups is a very lovey-dovey energy, right? She makes you feel loved, right? And I'm hearing you're still the one. Okay, so that's coming through by Shania Twain, where she's like, when I first met you, I saw love. And then when we touch, I felt love. And even now, after all these years, you're still the one I want. So yeah. And then she goes, thank God we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. 8 of Cups and the 9 of Wands together can be that energy of, hey, we've been through ups and downs. There may have been times when I wanted to leave, but I stuck it out. I stuck beside you. And now here we are. Okay. I wish this computer would be quiet. Like, why is it doing all that for? Like, how can I make it sleep? And it's still gonna be making all that noise even when it sleeps. Forgive me. Because this computer here is just... I'm sure you can hear her. She been on her whole life. Let me stop. And she won't hush. Oh, thank you. Because, girl, I know you ain't sitting here making all this blast of noise. Okay, so now we're going to be using this deck for your person. Please, Spirit, how will this person, their person, be in the connection? Okay, how will their person be in this connection? How will their person be in this connection? We have the Queen of Pentacles. And then we also have the Nine of Wands for your person. How will they be viewed in this connection, please, Spirit? Their person's energy. What kind of partner will they be? We have the Fool, and then we have Temperance. Interesting. So a very well-balanced, well-adjusted individual, right? The Queen of Pentacles is someone who is quite responsible. I love that you guys are both giving off nurturing energy. I do believe the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles are the two most nurturing cards in the deck, besides maybe the Empress, okay? So you like to cater to, they like to cater to as well. So two givers is basically what's coming through. The Queen of Pentacles is a more stern individual. I do believe she embodies a little bit of the Queen of Swords, where she's kind of like, not sassy, but firm, stern. She's standing on business. If she tells you to call her at a certain time, you better call her at a certain time. She's giving like mother, like, you know what I mean? How moms like hover and helicopter around their kids, like, what did you do? Text when you get home, blah, 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 da, da, da. That's this kind of person. They care a lot about you, but they show it in a more initiative kind of way. They show it more in actions, like, hey, did you eat today? Do you want to eat? Let me come pick you up. Like, what do you want to eat? I'll bring it to your house and we can watch movies. That kind of thing. They're very like someone who's very attentive to your every little need, right? That's the Queen of Pentacles, because earth signs, if we're thinking about earth signs, they are very, well, of course, materialistic. So they like to buy stuff. But then I'm thinking of Virgo in particular, and how Virgos love to like pay attention to everything their person wants. And a Virgo is going to be able to tell you exactly their person's favorite food, when is the best time of day for their person to eat this, da, 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 da. Like, they're going to know all those important things. So this person is going to be someone who knows all the important things that there is to know about you. And you can't even see the card properly, okay? This Queen of Pentacles, I'm pretty sure, is supposed to represent Rowena Ravenclaw, right? And she is the founding mother of Ravenclaw house, okay? And Ravenclaws are known for being very smart, very book smart, right? They're also known for being not elitist, but they keep to themselves. Ravenclaws are known for being kind of like Switzerland. They don't like getting in to everybody else's business. They kind of just like, you know, mind their own business. Very like sorority-ish kind of like Ravenclaws always gave me that vibe, you know? Even though we didn't really know much about them, they kind of just gave that snooty, I'm smarter than you, I'm better than you kind of energy, in the way that Slytherin didn't. Slytherins were just, you know, known as being like racist, right? Their blood, if your blood wasn't pure like theirs, you weren't allowed to be there. Ravenclaws were just like, huh, we're just better than you in general. We're smarter, we know more, like that kind of thing. So this person could be very smart, okay? But then we have the Nine of Wands coming through as well for your person. I don't understand why it's in the reverse. Maybe your person isn't as willing as you to put up with BS. Maybe you're more so willing to put up with someone who's imperfect while they want and crave perfection, especially because we have that Virgo energy coming through really strong for this person, right? This person does also represent or embody the traits of Taurus and Capricorn, so very good with money, right? They're very responsible. They're very career oriented, I think is the word. Then we have the Taurus, which loves their creature comforts. They love to eat good, smell good, do good things. This person is very big on their physical appearance and the clothes they buy and the fabrics that touch their skin and the brands that they wear. And they love to eat. They can love to cook. They love to sleep. They love to cuddle. all those things. Okay, so they're embodying all the earth signs, right? But then they're also quite attentive. They're the alchemists. They turn one thing into something else, that kind of thing. So they could be like, they persevere, but they could be also impatient. While you're sitting there like, we can do this, is fine, we have all the time in the world, they're kind of like, no, this needs to be done right now. This needs to be fixed right now. Okay? So then we have a Fool, which is a very, I don't know, I love that this person has that carefree side to them, because the Queen of Pentacles can be a little serious. She's also the teacher, and teachers do like demand in a kind of way perfection from their students. Like, let's make sure you know the work. Let's make sure you know the material. You're going to have a pop quiz. You're going to have a test. You're going to have finals. This person could also like test you in different ways. This person, like I said, is also just really, really, really smart, right? And they challenge you, not test you. That Spirit was like, be quite clear about that. Heard you. They challenge you, not test you. Testing kind of breeds or makes me think of someone who's immature. Challenges is someone who they're giving you something they need you to become better at. They're putting down the gauntlet, and you either pick it up and pass, or they kind of walk away. So I think this person is willing to put in time, but if you're not showing any consistency in becoming better or addressing their concerns in a connection just in general, they're going to head out, right? Okay. So we have the Fool, which always gives me Aries energy, but in this case, we have the freaking Weasley brothers, right? And they are the pranksters, the jokesters. They blend smart and like quirky quite well. They were very smart. They had to be smart to do the things they did and accomplish the things that they did. They realized that school was not for them, right? And they ended up opening up this very successful like prank joke kind of shop, magic shop, where you go and find all the dorkiest, weirdest, mischievous toys and trinkets ever. And once they realized that they weren't meant for school, they either got expelled, I believe it was, or they left school, I think it might have been like during, what is it called, Half-Blood Prince, where Snape was taking over, and they said, too much going on out here. We need to go open up a shop that brings some kind of light back into the wizarding world, okay? So that's what they did, and we have those two fools coming through in this card right here. This person could be a twin, okay? Right? Or they just have that twin split personality where one is fun, one is serious. This person has moments of being quite serious, but they also have this side of being quite playful. And then here we have Temperance, and for Temperance we have Ron Weasley. Never would have gave him Temperance, but hey, I mean, he is the perfect example of someone who wasn't taken, I don't want to say he wasn't taken seriously, but he was known as being a little bit of a goofy goober, right? He was more so worried about fame and status and stuff like that than he was about like his studies, He was more so worried about how everyone perceived him rather than like showing the world who he was, because he was someone he was one of the youngest Weasleys, right? And they said whenever you saw a tattered old robe and red hair, you knew there was a Weasley, That's what Draco said in the first, I think, movie. And it's kind of like that could be how this person seems. They could have gone from like rags to riches kind of thing, but they worked really hard instead of it being like spoon-fed to them. But Temperance is someone who is quite like moderate in all things. They don't eat too much. They don't smoke too much. They don't drink too much. They don't exercise too much. They don't sleep too little. They don't sleep, that kind of thing. Temperance is that kind of vibe. It also gives me someone who is quite zen, who is quite regulated emotionally, someone who's in control of their emotions, their reactions, their physical body, Temperance kind of always gives me a little bit of like the health card, someone who eats well, exercises well. They do things in moderation. They don't do too much. They don't do too little. They meditate. They journal. Stuff like that is what's coming through, Despite what the card is saying, Ron Weasley did also have a lot of growth in the movies. He went from being someone who was not the best wizard to someone who would kind of hold his own, someone who wanted to be better. And he was also very loyal and ride or die, okay? So this person's going to be beside you and through thick and thin, okay? That's the kind of person your person is coming through as. I also love how the Nine of Wands kind of represents the final defense, right? the final defense until the end, the final defense until things come falling down, that kind of thing. And that's what's coming through here, because here in this, I love how you guys have a card that came out together or in common. You got 9 of Wands and they got 9 of Wands, right? We're not backing down. We're not giving up. Either way, it doesn't matter if things are good or bad. Like I said, your person's kind of giving me, they're not going to put up with like BS too long. If you're not improving yourself in any kind of way after they have raised their concerns about you sleeping too much or eating too much or whatever, they're gonna be like, you know what, I'm trying to help you. You know, it's not this person can be very controlling, right? But it could not be so much about control and more about them wanting to make your life better in the way a mother forces you to eat vegetables to make your body nice and strong, right? Okay. So we have that coming through. Now I want to see how you guys are going to be seen together as a couple. So your person is definitely strong, stern, hard-headed, a little bit serious, but they do have a goofy side. It's only people who are really close to them, they get to see the genius behind them about who they really are. Okay, so gonna get a card from this deck, please, Spirit. How will my group ones be viewed as the couple? What kind of couple will them and their partner be? Okay, we have that. I do want a card from this deck as well. What kind of couple would them and their partner be? Please, Spirit, my group ones. Okay, we have some from there. Get a card from this deck as well. Group 1, please, Spirit. Jesus Christ. And then I will pull some more tarot cards as well. So I guess we might as well start off with that. What deck are we going back to? Trying to figure out what deck I should pull from. I pulled from 2 for both of you. Quite interesting cards you have here, though. Okay. We'll keep using the Harry Potter deck so you guys can see a little bit more of the visuals. Okay, so how they be viewed as a couple, please, Spirit. My group 1 and their partner, how they be viewed as a couple. 8 of Wands. Bad ASS, getting things done. Okay, this is Cedric Diggory in the 1 card when he turns into a shark to be able to breathe underwater and save his loved ones. Here we have the 6 of Pentacles. Interesting. The 6 of Pentacles want to come out in reverse, but that could be something here about you guys being stingy with each other, like very possessive with each other. You don't want to share each other with the world, right? Because it could be because you guys are so busy in your regular everyday lives that when it does come time for you guys to be together, it's only y'all. I'm not going out with friends. I don't want to spend time with your friends. You spend time with mine. No, it's just going to be the 2 of us. Okay. But the 8 of Wands is like that couple that's always doing things, always getting things done, right? And they're using smarts and wits. They're also, you're going to be a very popular kind of couple is the vibe that I'm getting as well, because Cedric Diggory was also quite popular. And even though he was a Hufflepuff, and Hufflepuffs weren't really like known for being elitist or known for being popular or overly smart or overly ambitious, I do believe Diggory was like a really nice guy. So you're going to be known as like the really nice couple. You know what I mean? The sweet couple kind of thing. Let's see what else comes through for you guys. But really stingy with your time with each when it comes to each other. Here we have the High Priestess. So you guys are giving kind of the spiritual couple. That vibe is coming through as well for you guys, which is really cute in my opinion. Like I said, you guys evolve or make people around you better, each of you in your own different ways. You could be someone who does that spiritually. This person could be someone who does that materially. So while you're bringing and boosting you guys' morale in the spirit world, your person's kind of boosting your morale and money in the physical world, which we love to see, right? Okay. So you guys are a perfect match. That's what I can also say about your person. They match you very well. This is someone who's quite even-tempered. They don't get angry easily. They don't get, like, sad too easily. They're not going to blow up on you, that kind of thing. They're very good at regulating themselves. They have like a very regulated nervous system as well. But you guys, as a couple, you could be quite active. You could like to swim, go on very, you could swim with sharks, some of y'all. Y'all could go scuba diving, deep sea fishing, deep sea diving, whatever it's called. You're the person or the couple that's jumping out of the airplanes and stuff like that. You're always on a new adventure. The Eight of Wands is someone who can't stay still, whether it be in career or just what we're doing out in the world, like, you know, activities and stuff like that together as a couple. You're the couple that's like skydiving, deep sea fishing and posting it, or going on vacations to Italy and here and there and so on and so forth kind of thing, and then posting it on social media. And people are like, what? This couple always doing something, y'all. You know what I mean? They can't sit still for nothing. Six of Pentacles, very giving with each other, right? Very sweet. How can I? Affection can be something that's very big or very noticeable or apparent when you're out with other people. Like holding hands, kisses, you know, cuddles, touching, that kind of thing. Closeness. There's no way people are around you and they don't know you're a couple. That's what I'm getting as well for you guys as a couple. Some couples aren't so lovey-dovey and touchy-feely in real life, and then some couples are. So that's the vibe that's coming through for you guys. The couple who is quite touchy-feely and lovey-dovey and affectionate. Okay? And as I said, that we have the Empress card come up. We have 10 of Cups. A couple that's always quite happy. The Empress want to come out. So the couple that would make a good team. People are always asking, when you're going to have kids? You guys are kind of giving me Lauren and Cam when that little message came through, because they found each other on Love is Blind. You know what I mean? They were the it couple for a long time. They're still one of the most beloved couples from Love is Blind, if we're being honest, okay? And it took them so long to have a baby, but the world didn't know they were having fertility issues. But they would just keep asking, when you guys having a baby? When you're going to have a baby? Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? And when they finally did, it was kind of giving, yes, this is the couple that God intended to, like, fill the earth with kids. When he said go out there and be fertile and have kids and bear fruit, he meant the Laurens and Cameron Hamiltons of the world. Okay? He didn't mean these broken home babies. He don't mean these kids that grown up in broken households. No, he meant two people who love each other, whose love can be felt from strangers through a computer screen, through a TV screen, through a phone, through social media, and who people are always rooting for them. Because they're just so sweet and down to earth. You guys are kind of doing like, is it called the golden couple, where everyone kind of likes you? They're both also just quite attractive as well. So that could be something coming through too. You guys are both really attractive, just nice overall people, very well liked. You know what I mean? And you're the couple where people are like, oh my gosh, when are you going to have kids? Like, you're the kind of couple who needs to have kids. You would make such cute babies. Da, da, da. That kind of energy is coming through, okay? So yeah, we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is also private. So you guys, you're as a couple, you're quite private. Everybody don't know what's going on in your connection. Even if it is publicized, even if it is shown on social media, you guys are like a social media couple. There's still lots of things about your connection that people don't know. Okay? But your connection is also quite spiritual. I don't know what about your connection would give that. For that to come through with the High Priestess here, it's like you're very spiritual. It's kind of giving soulmate. You were meant to meet. It's kind of like it's giving me that scene in what movie was it? I think it was Eclipse. It's in the Twilight movies, okay, where her mom is like, the way he is around you is like very intense. You know what I mean? How when he moves, you move. Like it's like you guys are attached at each other. You know, not attached at each other, attached to each other. When he moves, you move. When you breathe, he breathes. You know what I mean? It's a very intense connection between the two of you guys. You know? Almost like you can't live without the other person. It's the kind of energy coming through. But the thing that I keep hearing is when Bella asked her mother, is that a bad thing? You know? And her mom was like, it's an intense thing. You guys are only like teenagers. So, you know what I mean? This is a very intense connection for two two teenagers to be experiencing right now. But she didn't say it was bad. She just said it's an intense connection. You know what I mean? So that's what's kind of coming through, a quite intense connection. Then with the Ten of Cups here, it's definitely giving your cups are all full. People see you guys going the long round, you know, the long way. You guys are making it to the altar. You're having the kids after. That's what the Ten of Cups means, you know. The Ten of Pentacles can definitely mean like building a family, having kids, getting a house together. But I do believe the Ten of Cups is also that same thing. It's like walking into the sunset. You know, people never see you fight or disagree. It's almost like you have the perfect connection. That's how you guys are seen as a couple, okay? Like I said, golden couple, everyone loves you, everyone loves them, everyone loves you together, okay? You guys are also quite sweet. There is someone here that's a nerd, and I do believe it could be you coming through, because you're coming through with the Page of Swords. And Pages of Swords love to read, you know, love to learn things, love to question things, ask questions. Anything else coming through for you guys? Okay, let's get into the oracle cards, you guys, that came out for you guys. Here we have T-Wise, E-Wise, EHWAZ. Okay, so now I need to get the book from here to see what these runes mean. I promise y'all, not by the end of this year, but pretty soon, I'm going to have most of these runes memorized, okay? I'm putting it out there. E-Wise is the horse, and it is page 38. Okay, the horse is a trusted helper. Scratch that. Let's move over to the keywords. What? Stop it. The keywords are teamwork, trust, harmony, marriage, and loyalty. Stop playing. Stop playing. If you don't know, now you know. Like I said, you guys are making it the long way. You're making it the long run. You're going the distance, okay? That was coming through the Ten of Cups. And then we have the Empress. You're the one that are getting married, having the kids, the white picket fence, that kind of thing. Okay, so the horse is a trusted helper and a stalwart companion on the longest journeys, working with humanity in a role of companionship and trust for millennia. The horse knows the power of a team and cooperation. E-Wise, while a swift energy, the Eight of Wands coming through for how you guys are together. Love that. Maybe things move fast between you guys. You guys are like fast talkers, fast walkers, fast movers. You're just like very athletic, like I said. You guys can both be runners as well. At least one of you is a runner here, okay? And not in the emotional runner sense. In karmic connections, runner as in you run. You know what I mean? Physically. There we go. Okay. So while E-Wise is a swift energy, it uses no force. Its way of persuasion, suggestion, and invitations. Oh, its way is persuasion, suggestion, and invitations of friendship. The power of this rune lies in union and partnership. E-Wise points to symbolic relationships, to the joining of individual and harmonious beings. It encourages you to find flexibility and be adaptable to change. This is the time to go with your heart for intuition, not your head. Great. There it is. So that came through. Now we have these cards that came through. We have the Voyager. It says it's okay to forget and then remember all over again. The Voyager is return home, lessons, realization. So the Voyager is someone who travels places, right? Who goes from one place to another. So you guys will travel. You'll be known as a traveling couple, right? You're always in the car, going on road trips. You're always in the plane, always on the boat, that kind of energy. You're never in one place for long, okay? And then we have liberation, free spirit, wild, authentic. I love that we have this coming through. And then we have the horse coming through in E-Wise, okay? Yeah, or Eliz. Well, I don't know how to pronounce the runes. I'm sure I'll learn while I learn them, okay? And it says, just let me be, right? So you guys are going to be very authentic, very free, very wild. There is something here about you guys always being on the move, not caring what people think. That kind of energy is coming through. With the return home lessons and realizations, you are a couple who's always teaching each other lessons. You're always coming to certain realizations, right? I do believe you guys consider each other home, especially with the 10 of Cups coming through. It's a happy home kind of feeling, okay? And just let me be coming through in this liberation card is you guys are just able to be with each other. There's no pressure for more. Okay, so then we have these cards coming through here. We have dinner. And I was laughing when this came out because I was like, we did have Taurus coming through, and Tauruses love to eat, right? They love to cook. So whether your person is a Taurus or not, food will be very important to your connection as a couple. Maybe your person's a chef. Maybe you're a chef. That could be something coming through. You guys are always posting videos about eating. This person loves, well, it's very known that this person loves food, okay? And here we have book. So this was coming through. The dinner could be your person. They like to cook. They could be a cook, a chef, right? Whether it's professional as a job or just in the house. And then here we have book, and you were kind of coming through with someone who likes to read books with the Page of Swords here. You're someone who's always seeking more, who's always learning something new, that kind of thing. You know all the trivia questions and stuff like that. You know all the answers on the test. A little bit of a nerd, right? And then the last one we have is twins coming through again. Wow. So you guys could end up starting to look alike, or they have a twin for real, or you have a twin for real. That could be something coming through. But like I said, twin is more so just giving me how I said in the, for how your person will be, or how you guys, how your person will be. We had the twins come out, right? It was Weasleys. It was the two Weasley boys, the twins. But I'm trying to remember what card it was exactly. The Fool. Absolutely. Gemini energy could be important as well. Your person can't sit still. You can't stop reading. You guys are always laughing. There's always jokes. Your person could be quite funny because, like I said, the twins were funny and they ended up opening like a shop that was made for like being quite mischievous and funny jokes and pranks and stuff like that. So that could be something for your person since that came out for your person. But here we have twins. So what you like, so does your person as well. So you guys have a lot in common for sure. Hold on, these are not even. And then book, like I said, represents you liking to read a lot. Or you guys read it together. Maybe there's a lot people can learn from you because we learn a lot from books, right? And you guys as a couple is coming through as books, right? Okay. You as a couple are being seen as two halves of the same whole, twin flames, soulmates, whatever you want to call it, okay? I do remember that when I was learning about not soulmates, twin flames, because that was a big thing like a few years ago. Basically, a twin flame is someone who is your soul and your twin flame soul are two parts of the same whole, but you guys were born in separate bodies. So you spend your whole life trying to reconnect that part of you that always seems lost and like you weren't ever fully whole. That I kind of feel like is like a little bit of a gist about a twin flame connection. I don't know too much about them, but that's what's coming through here. You guys end up starting to look the same, act the same, laugh at the same time. You're attached at the hip, and it can be a little creepy sometimes, right? Group 1, I was putting away your cards, and I realized that another card had flipped over in this horror oracle, classic horror oracle, and it's the dance card. So you're definitely giving the couple that's like dancing after dinner or during dinner or going out dancing on dates. That with liberation is kind of giving the same vibe as well, right? You're doing things that make you feel free. You're not caring what anyone else thinks about you guys. You're a very free-spirited, wild, and a very authentic couple. People can see you and know that the love is real. You're not doing things for show, especially if you guys end up being a couple that creates content. A lot of those things can seem faked, or a lot of the emotions, the challenges, the videos can seem fake. Things are too good to be true. And it's just real authentic love, you guys. People can feel it from you. Like I said, with the whole Lauren and Cameron from Love is Blind season 1, people can definitely look at them and be like, oh my gosh, this was all just a fake love to do this and that. But I don't, the thing that I love about Love is Blind is it's not about winning any kind of money. It's about winning love, and love is the most priceless currency there is in the world. And you guys are definitely giving someone who wants that true love. Your love is authentic. People can feel the authenticity. You guys are not putting on for show. You're not there just to perform for anyone. It's just you guys, right? This could also mean you guys dance quite well. Maybe some of you are ballerinas. Maybe some of you are break dancers. Some of you are gymnasts. That kind of thing is coming through. Okay, so that's all that I have for you guys, though. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Please go listen to Zombie Lady by 𝐓𝐻𝐿. It's such a good song. Don't go giving. No, he's like, don't stop eating my heart out, baby. Don't stop giving me yours. You're my beautiful zombie lady, the only girl I adore. Let's go on and on and on and on, on and on and on and on. Don't stop eating my heart out, baby, 'cause I'm forever yours. It's such a catchy song. I've been obsessed with it. Like, music has been healing me lately because I've been going through some stuff, y'all. Emotionally, in life. It's just like I need a release, and music is giving me that release. And the song is so good, right? So give it a listen. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Like, comment, subscribe, hype the video, whatever. If you want to book a reading with me, email me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 2s. Welcome to your reading. If you found your way here, welcome. Today's reading is going to be about what kind of couple will you and your partner be. Okay, so this reading is inspired by the song Zombie Lady by 𝐓𝐻𝐿. So this song, I've been obsessed with this song. I've been obsessed with a lot of songs lately, okay? I feel like every day it's a new song. Every week it's a new song. So I have like a rotation of songs that just don't stop throughout the week. And Zombie Lady has been a part of those songs. Now, because it is still Halloween, and I don't feel like doing the whole typical Halloween theme readings this year, because the song is called Zombie Lady, I thought, hey, let me do a spin on what he talks about in the song to make a reading. So basically what inspired this reading was there's a specific line in the song where he's kind of like, I'll be the victor to your Emily. And I had to look that up. I'm like, what song? Who are those people? And I look it up and I find out that it's from the Corpse Bride by Tim Burton. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we're going to basically see what kind of couple would you be together. We're going to get into how you are in the couple, how they are in the couple, and how you're viewed overall as a couple, okay? Simple. So let's get right into it. I'm going to be using the little mini Halloween tarot for you, for how will you be in the connection, okay? Shoot, that's ghetto. How will my group, see, I want to keep shuffling. We need to, maybe it takes a little bit for you to like mellow out, open up, settle down with this person, because you see how the deck keeps acting up? How the deck acts in a reading, I do feel like has a lot to do with it, and it would make sense. Maybe you have like a lot of masculine energy, you know? I can do it myself. I can do battle by myself. I don't need a relationship. I don't need a man. I don't need a girl, whatever. And it takes some time for this person to wear you down, because I need to just keep shuffling until it becomes easy to shuffle. So yeah, it takes some time for you to open up to people in general, okay? Look at that. And then sometimes out of nowhere, you just turn moody or difficult. Let me stop making assumptions. I feel like that's what's coming through though, but I don't want to keep, you know, let's see what comes through. Guys, group 2. Keep pissing me off and see what happens. Don't start already. Acting up. Okay. For my group 2's, please spirit. Oh boy. Who will my group twos be in their couple? Whoever they're watching for. We have the Magician. Yeah, so ever changing, always changeable, never the same thing twice. It's a new you every day. So it really just depends on who you're becoming that day or who you're acting as or portraying that day. That's the kind of energy coming through. You're never the same person, okay? That could be because of maybe mental issues, physical issues, who knows, but you could just be like a very changeable person, right? The Magician is Mercury energy, and whenever I think of you guys, I'm thinking of the word mercurial. So mercurial is someone whose moods are always changing. They're seen as someone who's very moody. Maybe you don't talk a lot, because I just want to say muty, you know? But the first time I ever heard the word mercurial, I was reading 50 Shades of Grey. I believe it was the first book she mentioned that Christian, or no, she was talking about her stepdad, Ray, and she was like how he was mercurial, or she was talking about Christian or the pappy child. I don't know who it was. But I'm like, what word is this? Mercurial? Okay, and I looked it up, and then ever since then, the word has stuck with me, okay? So mercurial is someone whose mood changes really quickly. You don't really know what to expect from this person. She could have also been describing her mom as well, because her mom was always jumping from husband to husband, child, in those books, okay? Movies, whatever. Okay, so that kind of energy is coming through. Someone who's always changing. You're never going to get the same person in the same span of, or in the span of like 5 minutes. It's going to be like a upbeat person, a sad person, a happy person, a moody person. You're crying 1 minute, you're happy the next. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So who you are when they meet you is not the same person you are when you're settled down in the connection. Who you are at 1 o'clock is not the same person who you are at 2 o'clock, essentially, is the best way I can describe it. Here we have the Hangman in reverse. Okay, the Hangman in reverse. For who you are in the connection, there's something here about you not having to hold back or like go into your shell. The Hangman and the Hermit card can represent an energy of like hiding or going in your shell or going in like your chrysalis and like becoming someone new. So there's something here about morphing, changing, metamorphosis coming through, okay? But I do believe the Hangman in reverse is you don't think you have to hide away or hide your changes or mood swings from this person. Who you are in this connection is someone who doesn't feel like they have to run away and like do it alone by themselves anymore. You know what I mean? You're allowing this person to see all of the multifacets of who you are as a person, from the good, the bad, the downright, scary, or, not so appealing, the ugly, if you know what I mean. Okay, that kind of thing is coming through, because when I think of the Hangman, when it comes to a connection, it's someone who's holding back all the ugliness or all the confusion or all the pain or all the sadness, happiness, whatever it may be. You're holding that back from someone. You're hiding it all in a little chrysalis. And the thing about a chrysalis is we can't see what's going on inside of it when the butterfly is changed from a caterpillar. Okay, we don't see what's happening on the inside. We just see it when the person just comes out a butterfly, right? So you go hide away as a caterpillar and come out as a butterfly. Instead of you hiding in that chrysalis, you're allowing this person to see who you are, So it's kind of like a transparency that's coming through. You're very transparent in this connection about you being someone who is moody, someone who may be like sometimes like you may bite at them, or you may not always be in a happy mood. And it could, like I said, it could be something that you were born with. It could be a condition. It could be anything. But it's just like, hey, I'm not hiding all the ugly parts of myself, So that's coming through for you guys. We have the Tower, and I'm pretty sure it kind of, as you guys can see how it fell out over here, it's in reverse. So yeah, all the things that make you hard to love and scary, and the things that chase everybody else away when it comes to this connection, I do feel an energy of you allowing yourself to be just like that tornado or that tower moment, and not even in this person's life, but like when your life is falling apart, you're not hiding it away from this person. You're being, like I said, fully transparent about who you are and all your flaws, right? It's kind of like maybe you're purposely doing it to chase them away, but they're kind of like, where I'm not going anywhere. Okay, here we have King of Imps in reverse. The Imps are the wands. So the King of Wands in reverse, maybe you are a little more meek and shy than you usually are, right? There's a sense of maybe not many people making you timid or shy or quiet and, you know what I mean, girly or boyish. You know, not many people making you feel out of your element, out of your depth, but this person in this connection will do that to you. Where you go from being the magician who's putting on a show and showing people all their fantastical tricks to someone who's showing someone their vulnerable side, them crying, them screaming, them raging at the world, right? Then you're showing this person that you're not always the most confident person around. So basically, you're letting this person into the inner workings of your life, your world, your mind, your emotions, that kind of thing. This person's kind of like getting a glimpse that not many people ever get to see, is the kind of vibe that's coming through here, because you are the magician and people don't get to see how you make your tricks happen. Not y'all tricking out here. Let me stop. The one thing about the magician is we don't know his secrets. We don't know what he's doing behind the scenes to make those tricks look so real and magical. Because if we're talking about, is it close-up magic? If we're talking about the people on the stage pulling cats out of, not cats, let me stop. The cat is out of the bag is what I was meaning to say, but that's not what magicians do. They pull rabbits out of the hat. They slice people in half and threes and then pull them apart and show you, see, and then put them back together magically. Stop it. They do things like that. And the thing about it is we don't know how they do it unless you become a magician yourself, right? The vibe, we haven't pulled for your person yet, but if they're not coming through as a magician, it's kind of like you're letting them into all your secrets. You're showing them how you operate. You're taking them behind the scenes, right? And saying, hey, in the show, you saw me do this, but here's how it really happened. You know what I mean? In the outside world, you see me act like this, but this is how it really happened. Right? I come off as someone who's composed, but here's what it's really like behind the scenes, right? My business is so successful. This is how I did it. This is what I do. Like that kind of thing, you know? It's kind of like, when, is it Dorothy or is it Toto in The Wizard of Oz that kind of pulls the curtain and shows what the wizard, who he actually is, and he's not a wizard at all. He's just a meek, slimy man behind the curtain, fooling all of the people in Oz, right? Making them think he can make wishes come true, but he really can't. Yeah. Okay, so that's what's coming through for you guys. You're letting someone behind the facade of who you are. You're being someone who's more open than maybe you're used to. It's the kind of vibe that I'm getting. You're letting them see you unsure. You're letting them see you a little shy. You're letting them see you a little lost. It's a vibe that's coming through. So that's how you're coming through in this connection. So I'm finally able to let your guard down, right? Let's see what else is coming through for who my group 2s are in this couple. Okay. You are kind of giving me a zombie lady. You're giving me like a Tim Burton character where things aren't always happy, but they make the boast of it. They make the most, the best of it. Like I'm saying the boast of it, the best and the most of it at the same time, okay? They're making the most of their situation. They're making the best of their situation. Lord, see, I'm being transparent. I'm being real. I'm making a mistake and I'm telling you, hey, I meant to say that, but this is what really came out. Don't mind me, right? But you're arguing me someone who is kind of like emo, hard to... You know what I just heard? There's 2 people coming through right now. There's Gwen from, is it Total Drama Island? She was the emo goth girl and she ended up falling for the, I'm trying to remember who she fell for. Was it the emo goth kid or like the troublemaker kid on camp, or did she fall for someone else? I forget. But anyway, she's coming through, Gwen from Total Drama Island. And I'm also getting Raven from the Teen Titans. How they're kind of more emo, bad ASS girls. I don't need nobody. I could do bad all by myself kind of energy, but it's not until they meet the right dork, which for Raven is Beast Boy, right? I think that's her. They have romantic feelings for each other in the show that I watched when I was younger, child. Don't shoot the messenger. And for Gwen, it ends up being that really prankster, unserious dude in Total Drama Island. So you're meeting someone who kind of brings you out of that seriousness and brings you into some light and happiness. But it's kind of like when you first meet them, Like I said, you may not be used to this, so it's kind of like you're giving pushback. Because we have the death card in reverse, and death is like a transformation, but you're resisting the transformation. You're like, this person is changing you, like fundamentally, and you're kind of like, no, you're pushing back against it. The Queen of Cups is this person getting you in your feelings and getting you all mushy and gushy, and you kind of like, no, I'm not going out like this, but you kind of are, because that's what the cards say, y'all, okay? And then we have this other card that came out over here. We have the High Priestess. Yeah, there's something here about you letting your guard down. Because the Queen of Cups upright is definitely someone who is soft, okay? She's a little bit gullible. Has a bleeding heart, that kind of thing. The Queen of Cups in reverse is someone who I feel like feels all those things, but tries to not feel those things or doesn't want to feel those things. Either way, we have two cards that represent big, great intuition, and they're coming out in reverse. For the High Priestess, though, she is coming through as someone who is more private. With the High Priestess in reverse, is that someone letting your guard down and letting someone in. So that's kind of what's coming through. And I wish I was getting different interpretations of the same card, but all these cards out here together mean the same thing. You're being vulnerable. You're being soft, okay? Right? Even though you don't want to, this person is changing who you are. So in this connection, you may not recognize yourself. You may not be someone who likes forehead kisses and cuddles and snuggles and someone telling you how great you are, but then you meet this guy or you meet this girl, you meet this person, and they're sitting there giving you compliments, they have you blushing, you feel a little shy, unsure, that kind of thing, and you're kind of like, who am I? Like, this is not me. This goes against everything that I used to believe in, but now it's kind of like, hey, you've entered your soft lover girl energy. Embrace it, okay? This person allows you to get that overthinking side out. I do believe, since we have the Hangman, which is Pisces energy, and we have the High Priestess, which is also Pisces energy, and it represents the 12th house realm of secrets, it represents obsessions, it represents darkness, it represents things that people don't want to be brought into the light, it represents spirituality, it represents all those things. But what I'm hearing, it represents pessimism, represents not believing in something as well, or believing too much, or letting those things or beliefs cloud your vision. I do believe the High Priestess, as well as the Hangman coming out in reverse, is you're not letting those things continue to hold you back, right? You're not letting your overthinking keep you from a good thing. You're not letting your negative thought processes or letting your spiraling or your overthinking kind of make you into this person that you don't want to be, or make you be alone or untrustworthy of the people that comes into your life. Like, you're not going to constantly be thinking, I can't trust this person, I can't open up, I can't let them in, I can't be vulnerable, because there's a reason why you're being vulnerable. You know that. Your person may not fully know that, but maybe when you open up and tell them why you act this way, they're going to be more soft, they're going to be more reassuring, they're going to show you, instead of just telling you, hey, I want to be that person for you. They're going to show you in all kinds of ways why. And then when you start opening up and becoming more soft, it's going to be scary. But I feel like this person is like, all those things are necessary, right? Okay. So this person makes you change. They help you become someone new. Okay. Someone you don't recognize. Someone who's able to still be cool and emo and strong and powerful, but there's like a softness to that. You know what I mean? But like I said, this person kind of heals you in a way where you're not using your spirituality or intuition as a way to like push people away. Maybe you're someone who dresses in all black because you don't want to be seen by anyone. This person kind of heals that and makes you want to dress in more color, right? I'm seeing a Wednesday character versus her best friend in the show Enid, where they're both two sides of the same coin. She's the more colorful one, and the colorful Enid, the best friend, is the more colorful, the more open, the more lovey-dovey, the more, emotive. And then we have Wednesday, who is just all death, all gore, all suspicion, all I can't trust anybody, all unemotional, unfeelingness at all times, right? And there's rare moments where we ever get to see her like really like smile or get excited about something. And those are the two sides this person brings out in you. So an Enid versus a Wednesday character, this person's kind of like flipping those two sides. And people are kind of like, wait, you've changed, group 2. And you're kind of like, yeah, and what? And your person's like, honey bear, what do you like? What did we talk about? And you're kind of like, vibrating in anger, and then you kind of end up being more soft and like, yeah, oh, you know, so this person really has a softer side to you in this connection, right? Instead of being overly defensive, overly aggressive, overly mean, you're thinking before you speak. This person's making you like think twice about like immediately thinking about the negative side of something, or that someone has it out for you, or that you can't trust anyone, that kind of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna put that up there. Sorry I took so long on you. Now we're gonna use my Harry Potter deck to get into who your person is. Okay, but this person allows you to turn your brain off. This who you are in this connection anyway allows you to turn your brain off. No more overthinking, being lost in 12th house thoughts. No longer letting you think things that are bad about you are unlovable, like none of that. The Death card in reverse is also giving me someone who's not so intense and scorpionic, so untrustworthy, that kind of thing. Ready to bite your head off, always fighting. Okay, so for my group 2, their person, please. What kind of partner will their partner be? Okay. What kind of person will their partner be, please, Spirit? Here we have the 3 of Wands. Someone who's very adventurous. Someone who doesn't take life too seriously. Someone who could be as intimidating as you, but they don't allow it to like hold them back from still being open and friendly and adventurous. Here we have the 2 of Swords upright. I take this as someone who is quite decisive. They know how to make decisions. It doesn't take, they're not hemming and hawing over what to do next, or what they want to do next, or who they are, what they want to become. They're very like a decisive person. You know what I mean? The 2 of Swords is like taking your time, weighing the pros and cons, going back and forth over what to choose. The 2 of Swords in reverse is kind of like, I already know what I want to do. I don't really need much deliberation to figure out what's my next step or what my next decision is going to be. So a very decisive person, right? Especially when it comes to what they want to go after, their dreams and their goals. They're kind of like, I already know what I want to do. There's no need for you to question me. I already have the answer, you know, that kind of thing. This person could come off as a know-it-all. Okay. Or just someone who knows themselves. You know, I just heard know thyself. They know themselves. Okay. My group 2's partner, please. What more can you tell me about their partner in the connection? Someone who helps you better make decisions. Here we have the 10 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, there's something here about them taking all the burdens off your shoulders. So it's kind of giving someone who, like I said, you're the overthinker. You're always like making all these lists and going through pros and cons and going through, oh my gosh, like hemming and hawing, going in circles, like you can't make a decision. This person, this connection is the one taking over that role. You know what I mean? They're saying, instead of asking, what do you want for dinner? They're like, hey, we're having pizza tonight for dinner. Is that okay? And all you got to do is sit there and look cute and say, yeah. And they're paying for it, deciding how it comes to the house, deciding how you get it, coming and bringing it to you, that kind of thing. So everything is handled when this person is around. Okay, they have no problem going and getting what they want and going and getting what you want at the same time. This is a person that's asking you on their way to the store, hey babe, I'm going to the store, I'm going to get some gas, you need anything? These are the guys. Okay, that there was a trend going on social media where the girlfriends were like, can you bring me pads with wings? And the guys were bringing the girlfriend's pads with the wings on them, and also bringing them a side of wings from Wingstop. There were some men who was bringing their wives like a big brass bag of frozen wings that are uncooked and unseasoned. And I'm just sitting here like, what the hell? What makes you think this woman has her period because she's asked you to bring her pads? What makes you think that she would want to turn around and wait for them things to thaw, would season them biz, and then have to cook them? What, even if it was a trend where the wife was seeing if her husband would realize that she was asking for pads that already has wings on them, right? The pad with the wings. The men, being men, of course, didn't fully understand the thing. So some husbands were bringing their wives pads with chicken wings. And some of them were bringing cooked wings. Some of them were bringing 3 boxes of different options. They know what their girl likes and they want to give her options. Like, and then there were some men who were bringing her a whole big frozen slab of uncooked, unseasoned wings and throwing it her way saying, here, honey, here's your pad with wings. And I'm like, divorce him immediately. Okay? Immediately. What is this? You have your period and that man have the nerve to bring you frozen wings? I wish. Oh, the ghetto. But anyway, your person is bringing you Wingstop. They're bringing you 3 flavors. They're bringing you, like, they're bringing fries with it. Okay? This person is anticipating your every need. They said, my queen will have it all. My king will have it all. She'll have options. Okay? This person is an overachiever. This one right here. And I do believe it's kind of giving puppy dog, eager, so please kind of energy, this person here. Because you're already giving the black cat vibe coming through. They can't be a black cat too. It ain't gonna work, right? So this is a person who's is eager, who's eager to please you, okay? Is, like I said, it's kind of giving Beast Boy. He was very goofy. He was like very like, not even nerdy, but a little unserious, right? But when it came to certain things, he was quite serious. He was playing video games, like that kind of thing. He was always laughing, making jokes, that kind of thing. He was the comedic relief of the show, right? Excuse me. And that's how he was able to get Raven out of her shell a bit. I'm trying to figure out if I'm like butchering this. Was Raven and Beast Boy a thing? On the original Teen Titans show that came on Cartoon Network, not Teen Titans Go, the regular Teen Titans. I do believe Raven and Beast Boy were a thing. I could be mistaken though, but that's the kind of like dynamic I'm speaking about. How Beast Boy was kind of like, nerdy, goofy, you couldn't really take him that serious. He was always playing video games, that kind of person. And then we have Raven, who's like all powerful, who came from like a very traumatic background, how she couldn't let loose. She was always quite serious. And even if it is just a friendship dynamic that was coming through with Beast Boy and Raven, it is still giving that dynamic where one is like a little bit of the comedic relief and the other one is like, oh my gosh, I've gone through so much and I'm traumatized up, child. And then we need the person who's like a little bit softer, a little naive to go in there and like still be willing, kind of like a puppy dog panting and like, whatever you want, my queen and king. What else can I get for you, my dear? That kind of thing, so doting, spoiling kind of energy is coming through. Okay, I heard, don't get me wrong, I'm all man. Okay, for my women who may be worried about this this kind of person, this character that's coming through, they're like, don't worry, I'm all man, right? Nobody's saying they're going to be wimpy and green and turning into different animals. This person could be like, brawling. This person could be big and tall and, in the gym and muscular, or just like, little hefty, whatever, it doesn't matter. And they're still going to be a puppy dog for you because that's just them, right? It has nothing to do with looks, all about energy and how they treat you. So they're the puppy dog golden retriever wanting to give you everything, right? If you need an example, there's a couple on social media. I forget their names, but it's kind of like Kdrama. Sorry. Oh my gosh. But basically, it's a couple. It's a black girl and like a guy who I think is like mixed, whatever. I think his name is like Connor and her name is, I forget their name, child. But he is like this goofy, over eager, I'm just happy to be here kind of guy. And she is like the bona fide black cat vibes where she's just like she's gorgeous and he's gorgeous too. But it's kind of like she's the main attraction in the connection. And even no matter how gorgeous he will ever be, he just always gives that goofy boy next door, I'm just happy to be here kind of vibe. And she's giving like, who runs stuff in the connection, That's basically what it means. Like, what is their name? Is it Nan Cannon? Nan Kaban? Something like that. I think I've seen them on social media so much. If you are interested in figuring out who exactly they are, I can definitely just comment and I'll let you know. But it's something like that. But yeah, anywho, it's kind of giving that. He's like he's a man. He's a man. He's all man, right? He works out. He has muscles. He gets his hair done, dresses quite well. Like I said, he could be a black cat if he wanted to, but he's just so golden retriever around her. If he was on his own, it would definitely give black cat. You know, he's a very attractive man. But with her, he's just a golden retriever. That's it. You know? And that's how he likes it. And they just got engaged in like Florence, Italy, in the vineyards, and it was so beautiful. And it's just like he caters to her every whim. It's kind of like when we go out, what do you want to eat? That kind of energy coming through. The 10 of Wands is someone who takes away all of your worries. They give you nothing to worry about. It's a person who's booking the trip, booking the hotel. That's also another video that's coming through. There's like another creator couple where he's like Asian and she's like black. I forget her name, but it's kind of like a trend going around where it's kind of like, I booked the hotel, and she just like, and then before she can even answer, he's like, and I, pay for dinner. And she's like, she's like, my name is blank. And the boyfriend is like, my name is so-and-so, and I booked the hotel. And then it goes back to the girl, and she's like, my name is blank. And then it switches back over to the boyfriend. My name is blank, and I bought dinner. And then we go back over to the girlfriend, and she's like, my name is blank. And then the girlfriend is like, and the boyfriend is like, my name is blank, and I bought her Chanel bag. And then the girlfriend is like, my name is blank. So she's not doing anything. He's paying for the bills. He's paying for the trip. He's paying for all that. And she just there looking cute on his shoulder and being the black cat broody girl that she wants to be. And he's just there lapping it all up because she's the main attraction. That's it. She's the prize. You're the prize, group 2. Anywho, there's nothing you have to worry about with this person. You can lay it all bare for them, and they're not going to leave or call you a burden or anything. Okay? So my group 2's person, please, Spirit, what else can you tell me about who their person will be in the couple? Okay? Who will they be in the couple? Making the decisions, taking burdens off your shoulders. They're paying the bills, child. They're going on vacation, taking you with them. And they're kind of giving that big, dumb, just the brawn to your brain, okay? But like I said, they're not brainless. They're not boorish. They're not a Gaston. They're someone who could be very smart and very intelligent. But when it comes to you, they want you to be the smartest in the room and the most prettiest. And they want to give all the attention to you, okay? Here we have the 3 of Swords. You can't really see that. Let me try to move it over. We have the 3 of Swords, and the 3 of Swords, as we all know, as we've probably seen in many of your reading, it represents the heartbreak card, the turmoil card, the emotional pain, and conflict card. With it coming out in reverse, I love how we have all the conflict cards coming out in reverse. This person's a resolver of conflict. They don't like conflict. They want to work it out. They want to talk it out, okay? Why is the freaking computer on again? Hush. We don't want to hear your droning in the background. Please. But anyway, yeah, the 3 of Swords in reverse can represent a very healing person who wants to kind of fill in the cracks that have been surrounding your heart. It's like, how can I describe it? I'm just seeing like cracks in something and some liquid coming in to fill those cracks and soothe it. You know how like your skin be dry and cracking sometimes? This person is representing the shea butter. This person is representing the lotion. This person is representing the aloe that's going to come and soothe those cracks that have caused you pain. They're healing those things that have caused you burdens and has caused you to be this like mean, maybe like untrustworthy kind of person. Like you're not the person that's laying your heart bare for just anybody, but you're doing it for them. And there's a reason why. I mean, we said all the great things. Like I can see why. You know what I mean? So since we pull more for them, can we pull more for my group 2s, please? Their person. Who will their person be in this connection? Here we have the 9 of Wands. Yeah. Now we have a we have a Tom Riddle character coming through in the 9 of Wands. Oh my. He was troublemaker, if you will. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles coming through here as well. So a very comfortable person, someone who makes money. They have a good job. They don't need you to do anything for them. Now we have an Emperor figure coming through. You love to see it. Yeah, the head of the household, a person who's calling all the shots, but they're still like, anything else, my queen? You know what I mean? They want to please. We aim to please kind of energy is coming through for this person. The 9 of Wands can also represent that as well. Someone who's eager to do something. They can't wait anymore. They're chomping at the bit is the kind of vibe coming through, right? 9 of Pentacles, some sense of security. They have a nice work ethic, right? They're trustworthy. They're independent. They're comfortable on their own. They're quite mature as well. Whew, I love this Emperor energy and this Knight of Wands energy. This person is quite fiery, but like I said, when it comes to you, they're not being less, but there's something here about them being like just manly enough to soothe you. So instead of them making you more masculine, their masculinity makes you more feminine, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Okay. So the Emperor is Aries energy. So someone who can be very demanding, someone who's very like, they like to be in control of things. Like I said, they're deciding where you're going for dinner, what time you're leaving, when they're gonna come pick you up, like that kind of stuff. You're never gonna have to worry about them being able to make decisions in the couple, right? Someone who may have their own business, they're in charge of people, of a organization, corporation kind of thing. There is some kind of power dynamic coming through here. So this could definitely be a Dom sub connection, DDLG connection, that kind of thing, where it's like, I just want to sit here and you do all the stuff and I just come along and look cute vibe. Okay. Whatever person you end up being in that connection, that's the vibe that's coming through, right? Okay. Whew, boy. Yeah. The Emperor is definitely giving someone who wants a family. So this person wants to be the head of the household. They want to be the provider kind of energy. So that's the kind of person you're calling in. I do want to get some cards for what the connection will be like between the two of you guys. Okay. What kind of couple will you be? How will you be viewed in society kind of thing? Can I get a card for my group twos, please? Can I get a card for my group twos? What kind of couple will you or them and their partner be, please, Spirit? What kind of couple will them and their partner be? What kind of couple will them and their partner be? Oh, we have two cards coming out. Okay, we have that. I want a card from this deck here as well. What kind of couple will them and their partner be? Please, Spirit. My group twos. What kind of couple will them and their partner be? Okay. I can't see the cards. Yeah. How many cards is that? 3? That's OD. But hey. So we have 2. We have 3 there. What kind of couple will them and their partner be? Don't piss me off. Oh, this card is so cute. We'll keep it. And that's what I was going to say for y'all. So yeah, that tracks. Okay. Give me a second. Oh, shucks. So I had some words at the side of the screen, not the side of the screen, but on a paper next to me. And I'm like, okay, just to kind of help me out in the reading in case I go blank. And I was already going to call you guys a specific couple, and this card came out and confirmed that. Okay, so that's good enough. We don't need to write that. And then I'm going to, I do want to pull some tarot cards, a few more to figure out what kind of couple you guys will be. The time is going, forgive me for maybe taking too long. Okay. For my group two, please, Spirit, what kind of couple will they be? My group twos and their person. We have the 5 of Ghosts. Yeah, that sad couple. Maybe you guys are giving the alternative emo couple. And it's funny because that's what I was getting with this. We have the Emperor coming through again. So you are giving kind of the scary couple. And it's going to be really funny once you see the card that came out for you guys from the classic horror oracle. So maybe the sad boy, sad girl, the unconventional couple, the couple that people aren't kind of unsure about. They don't know what the dynamic is, which is what it kind of comes through as, where you're, like I said, you're not out there and with your business and what's going on, your connection is kind of like what happens in between us stays between us, you know? Here we have the 5 of Pumpkins, and what's crazy is these 2 cards wanted to come out. I forget where. So it's kind of giving I fell in love with the emo girl energy. Okay, here we have the 4 of Bats. So like very chill, very calm connection. It does kind of give a little sad or alternative or something like that, or unconventional is what I'm kind of getting with all these cards coming out together. The Emperor is kind of like being unapologetic about your connection and what you guys love, okay? You guys are definitely giving the couple that people are scared to double cross, or maybe just scared to approach at all. And it could be because you're so intimidatingly beautiful and handsome and pretty or gorgeous. It's kind of like a couple that are like, okay, so for example, what can I say? Nara Smith and Lucky. Like, if you were to see them on the side of the street, they're both these tall, like, they're both these tall, intimidating, like gazelles, like stallions, you know, just walking down the street. And it's kind of like, what would I even say to them if they have their model face on, which is very stoic and cheekbones like just sharp as ever, and they're just strolling down the street, and you're kind of like, how would I even approach them? What would I even say to them? They're mean mugging the F out of everyone. Doesn't mean they're mean, but it's kind of like that couple, that model couple that walks together down the street. It's kind of like, what would I even say to them? They're so intimidating, that kind of thing, you know? Yeah. Anything else coming through? Five of Pumpkins. Maybe you guys are always by yourself, or you don't really have many friends. It's just you and your person. You're the kind of couple that wants to be by themselves. You ain't worried about having a couple of friends or having friends in general. The loner couple is the kind of vibe coming through as well. The Four of Swords is like a little bit like a reservation, you know? Where it's you guys and then the rest of the world, that kind of thing. So you're not giving me the couple that people know too much about your business, what's going on, the dynamic that's going on between you guys is kind of like they just show up sometimes. We see them walking down the street, and that's all that we know, you know? But yeah, then we have the Hierophant in reverse. Yeah, very unconventional. Maybe it's a bit like, I don't know, polarizing, the connection you guys have. You know what I mean? I don't even know what polarizing means. Maybe like taboo, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, alternative emo couples. When you're walking down the street, you guys are both sad, but you're all decked out and like I know y'all know the alternative outfits people be wearing. There's like specific styles and aesthetics that come with it, right? But it all goes under one aesthetic of like emo, alternative, pop punk, goth kind of vibe. And if you see couples like that wearing all black, some of them like have their hair dyed all kinds of colors. They wear these very interesting outfits, and you're kind of like, I wonder what's going on there. And at the end of the day, no matter what they wear, they're still just a regular couple like you and me, or like they're human beings, you know? But they kind of give an air of other, you know, different. Okay, so those are the cards that came out for you guys. Very much keeping to yourself, away from drama, that kind of thing. But for these cards here, we have the love, but people can feel the love between you guys. But look at how we had Frankenstein come out here for the same question. We have Frankenstein come out here. Look at how they're dressed. Look at Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster and the Bride of Frankenstein's monster. You're going to see them and think, oh, they're normal. No, they don't look normal at all. But there's still love, and you can still feel the love between them, period. Okay? There's still devotion, and no matter what form it takes. Either way, at the end of the day, it ain't none of our business kind of vibes, you know? And then here we have combination. You guys make a good team. You guys look good together is what's coming through as well. Whatever aesthetic you have, they have the same aesthetic. Like, I keep coming back to the example of Gwen and let me look them up. You know what? I don't want to turn back on the computer and have it make that droning noise. But basically, Gwen on Total Drama Island had like black and like purple hair or something. Or she had like streaks of some kind of color. She dressed with the piercings and everything. And I believe she ended up with the guy who was like like green and black hair. And he had like all these piercings on him and had like a skull on his shirt and had chains and everything. And those two were kind of like, what are you guys doing together? But they were together. I think they were the couple that were together. They're coming through anyway. That can be the vibe coming through. They both have that punk rock vibe to them, that goth vibe to them. And so did like Beast Boy and Raven. She was very much like leave me alone kind of thing. She would walk around in a leotard, her legs all out with a cape, and it's kind of like, who does that? And then we have Beast Boy, who just like could turn into any animal, and he was like very like, you know, he was very confident, you know. So anyway, that's coming through for you guys. I do want to get these cards here. We have truth. You're just very honestly who you are. It says that which is true will always be enough. And it says honor, empress, and integrity. So like I said, you guys are quite gorgeous. And I love how we have the color scheme of Raven coming through. Actually and factually. And didn't she have a moon on her forehead? Period. Glad that she was coming through to clear things up. Okay. Here we have another purple haired girly. So that confirms it for me 2 times over. Right? The shaman. Lunatic insights and cosmos. Lunatic is crazy. What do you mean? Yeah, people look at you and they're kind of like, I don't know about them. They could be a little unhinged or whatever, but it doesn't matter because y'all are 2 unhinged people in love. Okay? Here we have the portal, adventure, ancestors, and calling. You're the kind of couple that don't ignore the niggle. Whatever you feel called to do, you're going to do it. Like I said, your person coming through is like very adventurous. And I do believe wherever they go, they take you with them. So if they're going on a trip, you're going to, child. That's it. If you want to go, they're not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do, kind of thing. But it is giving like, I don't really know how to place them, you know? But very attractive nonetheless. Maybe some of you are like soldiers. Maybe some of you are good at fighting, combat, stuff like that. Because that's also what Raven and them were good at. They fight evil, you know? Maybe you do it in the spirit world. They do it in the real world. They're a police officer. They're a military person. You're giving a shaman who you're fighting spiritual battles. And they're fighting battles in the real 3D world. You know what I mean? Whew, sorry, I feel like I've been talking a lot, child. And then we have Manes and 𝐓𝐈𝐿𝐴. So let's get into these rooms and figure out what else needs to be told before we leave your story here between you and your person. So far you guys are coming through. It's like the weird, chill, funny, scary kind of couple, right? But you're getting well dressed though. That's what I want to say. Whatever aesthetic you embody in your person is definitely giving it attract attention. Maybe because it's so different. Maybe you dress up and go all out and they don't. Maybe you both go all out. It's kind of that energy. Okay? Either way, you're attracting attention. Like I said, you're giving 2 models walking down the street looking like serving face. And people are like, huh? Okay, so Manaz, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, sorry, is the meerkat and it's page 40. The meerkat keywords are humanity, intelligence, awareness, society, learning. So a very Aquarian kind of couple, right? So the keenly intelligent meerkat finds joy in family and kin. Each individual contributes their own strengths to the betterment and success of the clan and society. Lessons learned by one generation are then passed down to those that follow, continuing to strengthen and protect the clan. As much as Manaz speaks of the joy of clan and kinsmanship, this rune represents the rational mind and intelligence rather than emotion and instinct. When you're presented with this rune, it is time to leave emotions behind and return to the rational. It references the seed of divine intelligence in the human soul and our united collective potential. This is the time for the mind, memory, and learning. And then we have truth coming through here. So that could be something coming through as well. Like I said, you are here to discover the truth of what's supposed to be happening in humanity, how we're supposed to be growing, getting better, that kind of thing. Because then we have a portal. So you guys are meant to come here and open a portal for what relationships could be, what people could be, what we could be as a, human race as a whole. That could be coming through. But now let's move on to 𝐓𝐈𝐿𝐴. Where 𝐓𝐈𝐿𝐴 is at? Where is 𝐓𝐈𝐿𝐴? The swan in this 14. So we have, come on. Okay, the keywords are gifts, partnership, sacrifice, fear, exchange, and honor. How beautiful. So the swan knows the gift of lasting love. Joining with their partner, they exchange a promise and a bond of fidelity, allegiance, and trust. Each lives in the harmonious cycle of giving and receiving while caring for, loving, and protecting the other. And 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐒𝐲 is a beautiful and generous symbol of sacred exchange. To receive, you must also release. Yup. So once this person starts giving you stuff and you start receiving, you learn to release a bunch of the old, ways of doing things and believing in things, like we were talking about for like the first half of your reading, okay? When blessed, you should in turn bless. 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐒𝐲 encourages honoring your commitments and contracts and returning like for like. Union comes in many forms: love, friendship, family, and business. Yeah, so that's what's coming through for you guys. So definitely a partnership. You guys are going to be seen as a force to be reckoned with. You're going to be seen as very alike. You're going to be standing in united. We stand, divided, we fall. You guys are always standing together, defending each other, there for each other, that kind of thing, So but there's also like a lot of intelligence and smarts and like higher knowledge, learning, spirituality, intellect coming through in this reading as well for your couple, your partnership, whatever. So I hope this reading resonated. Please go listen to Zombie Lady by Damiano David. Such a good song, okay? And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, hype up the video, right? If you want a reading with me, you could always do so using my email in the description box below. But I do hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group threes. Welcome to your reading. If you made your way here, thank you for joining me here today. Today, we're going to be getting into what kind of couple will you and your partner be? Partner, future spouse, lover, whatever. If you're already in a connection, this could be what kind of couple you and your partner are. Take what resonates, okay? But do know that this reading was not dedicated to, relax. This reading was inspired by the song Zombie Lady by Damiano David. This is another song that has been on repeat lately. It's so good. I'm so obsessed. His whole new album is really, really good, honestly. Like, I haven't had to skip a song yet. It's really good. So if you're a fan of, I don't know, pop, rock, give it a listen. It's really nice. So yeah, this reading is going to be about who you are in the couple, who they are in the couple, then who you guys are as a couple together, okay? So it seemed to be a long reading, so let's get right into it. But just know that. Don't come and watch this expecting it to be 5, 10, 15 minutes long. No, each group has been like 40 minutes. So buckle up and watch the reading when you can, okay? So yeah, we're going to be getting into all those things. And if you are ready for that, then stick around. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm going to be using the Halloween Tarot for your part of the reading. And I'm going to be using my Harry Potter deck for their part of the reading. But definitely go give the song a listen. It's so good. And the reason why it inspired this reading, I should tell you, is because there's a part of the song where he's like, I'll be the victor to your Emily. And I was like, hold up, who are those people? Just to find out it was the couple in The Corpse Bride. And I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense. So I'm like, what kind of couple will my collective be with their person? Will you be a Victor and an Emily? Will you be something different? If you don't know those characters, I'm not using character references today. I might bring up some characters, but I'm not going to be like, oh, what couple at the end represents your couple? Those couples come through naturally. Okay, so let's get into it. My group threes, please, Spirit. Who will they be in their couple? Who will they be in their couple? Your cards just come out and they just fall face down. That's not helpful at all. Thanks. The first face up card, 5 of Bats. You like banter and arguing. We have the Fool in reverse. Interesting. Okay, let's see what came out first and foremost. We have the Knight of Bats. We have the Tower in reverse. We have the 5 of Bats. And then we have the Fool. So who will you be in your partnership? Interesting. I'm not going to say you like fighting, but the 5 of Swords is you like being right in an argument, okay? You're going to be the kind of person who wants to be right in an argument. You have no problem fighting and going back and forth and proving your point. It doesn't have to be over fighting, like, seriously, but it's kind of like debating. We don't agree on something. Let's talk about it and figure out why. Let's lay out all our points. You know what I mean? And see if we can convince the other person, like stuff like that, mental stimulation, banter, arguing, whatever, discussing your opinions, right? Talking about things you love. All those things are things that you like, I feel like. And in a partnership, you're definitely going to be the one, like, I'm sorry, can't even see them properly. You're going to be the one that's like teasing your person. Like, hey, like, oh, you know what I mean? You like to get them riled up is what I'm getting as well. You don't like fighting, but you like the feeling, the exhilaration of maybe getting this person mad at you, right? You're the kind of person who wants to, let me stop. I'm going to say it anyway. Who likes a good spanking, right? You want to get your person to that point of like getting them upset, poking the bear essentially, okay? Yeah. Knight of Bats, I believe bats are swords, if I'm not mistaken, in this deck. Yeah, because the five of the bats, five of the swords. Yeah. So the Knight of Swords is definitely someone who likes to seek knowledge, who wants to learn everything and do everything and be everything all at once for someone. You're definitely the kind of person who's learning your person's favorite color, their favorite food, their favorite time of day, their favorite this, their favorite that. You're going to be the queen or king of favorites, meals, books, songs, movies, like all that kind of stuff. You are the kind of person who may jump headfirst into talking, and you want your good morning text, your good night text. You guys are always on the phone chatting. Like, that's the kind of energy coming through. When you know what you want, you may end up being the chaser in this connection, or I'm getting in this connection because this is giving up a couple. So you guys are a couple. In this couple, you're the person who's always initiating the conversations, or you're the person who's always like initiating the text, or how can I describe it? You're going to be all up over your person, right? Because the Knight of Swords is like inspired action. It's fast movement. It's fast thinking, fast talking. And I feel like when it comes to like you being in a couple with your person, you're the kind of person who's going to like be pouncing on them, or you're going to be the couple or the girl asking, babe, if I was a caterpillar, would you still love me? And then getting mad when it leads to an argument that you kind of want to start. You know, that's what I'm getting. Like, oh, he's too happy right now, or he's too calm. I want some excitement. Let me ask him a dumb question. And then it leads to something so much bigger and so much more annoying. And it's kind of like, oops, sorry, but not sorry at the same time. Okay? That's the kind of energy I'm getting for who you would be in this couple. So you want to purposely annoy your lover, okay, your partner. Then we have the Tower. It's kind of like poke, renege, that kind of thing, okay? You like to play games as well. It could be video games, it could be trivia games, it could be something like that. Card games, that kind of thing. Because I'm remembering or being called to how reneging is a part of spades, and spade is like it's a card game, right? That is very big in the Black community. So that could be something coming through for some of you guys. You like to play spades and Cards Against Humanity and poker and Texas Hold'em and, even goldfish and things more innocent, right? Or novice, if you will. You're playing poker on poker nights with the guys. Like, you're playing chess, you're playing Monopoly, that kind of thing, You could sorry, that was very ugly, clearing up my throat. You could be the kind of person that's sending games back and forth. You know how iPhone has like games you could play, right? That kind of thing is coming through. You know how some kids all, FaceTime, like my cousin loves to FaceTime her friends, just play Roblox, like have a phone in one hand on FaceTime, then they're all on their like tablets or whatever, playing Roblox and whatever the heck the kids play these days, right? That's coming through. So like a very much playful, play kind of energy, poking, hopping, biting, scratching, that kind of thing, That's you, the Knight of Swords. That's the kind of person you're going to be in this couple. Okay? Very giddy and childlike and playful, okay? The Fool in reverse. I'm trying to figure out what this energy is representing in this reading. The Fool in reverse for who you are in this couple. I'm hearing very invested. Let me get a clarifier. Can I get a clarifier for the Fool in reverse? Why is the Fool in reverse here? We have the Six of Imps, success, victory, winning the battle. Interesting. But when it comes to the couple and who you are in the couple, we have the Fool, and then we have it clarified by the Six of Wands. Whatever could this mean? So the Fool represents starting new things, starting over, being eager to begin again. I do believe what I am getting from the Fool in reverse is kind of like, what did I say before? I forgot what I said, but I'm getting like a set in your ways kind of person, you know? So someone who doesn't always want to begin again, who doesn't want to know things. You're the kind of person who wants to already be engaged after like just meeting someone or being in a couple with someone, because you want to like skip ahead, move fast. You don't want to take your time kind of thing, you know? You want to dive headfirst into this. You want to fall hopelessly in love with someone is the kind of thing you're kind of giving me in this couple, right? It's kind of like the Fool is an energy of starting over. With that and the Six of Wands coming through, I'm trying to figure out what Spirit is trying to portray here for how you will be in the couple. Can I get one more clarifier, please, Spirit? How will they be in a couple? We have the Two of Imps. The Two of Imps is the Two of Wands. It's kind of, I don't know, maybe the Fool is supposed to be upright. We'll put it that way. Because I'm not really getting a message of it in reverse. So it has to be upright. Because then these two cards are kind of giving freedom and success, making a decision. And look at how these two imps are kind of like fighting and going back and forth, bantering in this card. You love that stuff. Ooh, you love it. You love it. I'm seeing someone grab someone by like the chin and like pull them forward and say, stop playing little girl. Like, stop. Okay. Okay. It's kind of giving an energy of like, I don't know, like, how can I describe it? You kind of want to be led. You don't want to be the leader, but you're always starting stuff. It's like, the best way I can describe it's like topping from the bottom. You don't truly want to lead or be the dominant person in the connection, but sometimes if you're feeling a little skittish, you want to be dominated in that moment, you're poking the bear to get them to like top you in the moment. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like you're begging for a spanking. I think that came through in like group, was it group 2 or was it your group? I forget. Like when I do readings so back to back, it's kind of like they all meld together and at a certain point. But that's kind of what I'm getting here for you guys. You're the kind of person who's always like begging for a spanking, who's always like trying to get a punishment kind of energy when you're feeling restless or whatever. Interesting. I love it though. I love it because period. You know what I mean? You could also just ask, communication is great as well. You don't gotta provoke them, but do what you do, child. That's y'all, right? Okay. Yeah, the Five of Swords can kind of be like a competitive energy as well. So it's kind of like you purposely do things to make this person want to like come and, give it to you real good. Ooh, child. Okay. Yes, period. What else is coming through? Six of Wands. There's like there's something here about like you doing things just for the rush of excitement or triumph. Yeah, it's right there. That's where you end it. Or for the feeling of triumph that comes with like not getting what you want, but getting what you want. Let's get some more cards for you guys. My group 3's please, Spirit. What kind of person will they be in their couple? What kind of partner will they be in their couple? Whew. We have the Three of Imps. We have the Ace of Imps. A lot of Wands. First was a lot of Swords, now it's a lot of Wands. You're the kind of person who wants to bite them when you get too excited. You guys are the cutest things ever. That could be something. You guys want to be adorable and cutesy and playful a lot of the time. Here we have the Page of Imps. All these imps, oh Lord. A lot of fire energy is definitely a thing coming through. So you have like a lot of passion or pent up passion for this person. I'm hearing cuteness, aggression. Like when you see your man, he's looking so good, he's smelling so good, and you kind of just want to like just ruffle, make him look a little worse for wear. You know what I mean? You go and like just start biting him, pulling at him, stuff just to bother him because he just looks so good. You just want to pinch his cheeks is kind of giving, you know, when you see a baby and the baby is so cute, you just want to pinch the cheeks. That's the kind of energy I'm getting. You're going to be very passionately and physically attracted to your person. You're going to want to be all over them all the time. And that's kind of what I was getting with the Knight of Swords. You just want to be hopping on them, touching them, talking to them. You want to be all up in their energy. You want to be in their body, right? You're the kind of person who's like, if you're cuddling, laying in bed, you have to be up under their sweatshirt with your head poking out of the top of their sweatshirt, because that's how close you want to be to them. You want to be in their skin. Is the kind of energy that's coming through here. You know what I mean? The Fool in reverse can come through as an energy of not ever wanting to start over, not ever wanting to go somewhere new. You just want to be stuck in this energy with this person forever. So that could be a problem for you, like finding different things to do or not being so obsessed or dead set on this person, right? That could be a vibe coming through. Wanting to be all around them, right? This person is the horse and you're representing all the imps on top of the horse. Like, yeah, this is all me right here. You know, you could be someone who's a little possessive. Okay. You like a lot of attention on you in the connection. And you like to give your person a lot of attention as well. So physical touch is definitely like your main love language with this person. Or in this couple, I should say. Ace of Imps, Ace of Wands is also that energy. Oh, yes. Like, you like to get it on and popping. So in this couple, you're going to be very active when it comes to like bedroom activities, okay? You're going to be very active when it comes to that. You're going to have like a very healthy sex life with this person, okay? There's not going to be any trouble in that department is the kind of vibe that I'm getting here. The Three of Imps, you guys feel like very adventurous. You know, for whatever reason, the Three of Imps is giving me adding someone else to the bedroom. We have these two imps here, and then we have someone else trying to come in, right? So that could be something you guys do every once in a while. You know what I mean? Every once in a blue moon to keep things spicy. A Page of Imps, I don't know, the Page of Wands is kind of giving me a bratty energy. So that could be something coming through for you guys as well. And then there's Two of Imps. I just don't know, like, they keep giving me the visual, like, you know, fighting back and forth. And then this big person having to come and be like, hey, break it up, right? This is hilarious. With the Six of Imps coming through as an energy of who you'll be in the couple, you like a lot of attention, you guys. So maybe words of affirmation and physical touch, like a big thing for you guys. You want to be like praised, applauded. You want this person to bow down, worship. You know what I mean? You want this person to be just as passionate towards you as you are towards them. Is the kind of energy coming through. And if you don't get that, you're going to be causing causing trouble, y'all. I'll leave it at that. Okay. So let's see what can come through for your person. Who will they be in this couple? I'll be using this Harry Potter deck for your person. Please spare it from my group 3's person. Okay. Who will they be in this couple, their person? We have the Three of Wands in reverse. It's funny because you got the Three of Wands as well. And it did want to come out in reverse. Okay, group 3. The King of Swords in reverse. If another card comes out in reverse, I'm switching over all these cards. Queen of Wands. Okay, yeah. So we have the Queen of Wands. We have the King of Swords. Very bossy person you have here. Very adventurous when it comes to the bedroom, right? But threes coming out in both of your categories. This could be like a throuple kind of connection coming through here. If that's something you're manifesting, if you know you can't share your person, that's not a message for you. Okay, we have the High Priestess, and then we have the Two of Cups. What kind of partner will they be in the connection? Very doting. They love taking you out on dates, hugging up on you, showing you off. Okay, I do believe like date night will be a staple in your connection. It's not for every couple, so just don't say, that's obvious. Not really. This is the first time it's coming up. The High Priestess here is kind of giving like a sentinel. So the all-knowing, all-seeing person who's protecting the rest of the castle. So this person's going to be quite protective. This person's going to be quite larger than you. Okay, there could be a height difference here. So they immediately feel like very protective. Okay, even if they don't have a huge height difference, there's something here about them wanting to protect. Okay, protect and serve is the energy coming through, because these big stone, whatever these sentinels are, they weren't activated at Harry Potter or at the castle Hogwarts until the last battle with Voldemort. They activated these statues that were like dormant for so long, you know? So this person is coming through with someone who is hard to ruffle their feathers, but it's kind of like once you do, like their protective, like, stone side comes alive. You know what I mean? Or maybe because this person's always coming off so stone cold and unapproachable that you kind of want to tease them a little bit to make them let down their guard, right? The King of Swords can be a little serious, a little cynical, you know, a little too cold, a little too frank. And you're the kind of person who cuts through all that ice and like gets them burning up, okay? I just saw a vision of kids. So that could be something coming through for this person. They want kids with you specifically. This person could look intimidating because we have this big like ogre thing here, and then we have this sentinel vibe coming through as well. So they could look scary or quite intimidating. Queen of Wands is like an energy of my way or the highway. So this person likes to assert their dominance, and you like when they do that, child. They do. They do. Like when this Bella, is that her name? I'm trying to remember if that's her name. Bellatrix Lestrange. Yeah, I think that's her name. I don't think she was someone who was scared of quite much. She was a little mad, you know? She was a little unorthodox, a little weird, a little out there, you know? And that's something that your person could be coming through as well. But she was also quite scary too, you know? Very skilled. Very good at making things hurt, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, shove, shove. If you're into, like I said, that kind of stuff, this person likes to make it hurt, teach you a lesson. It's kind of giving on the way, what's his name? Christian Grey in 50 Shades of Grey would kind of be like, listen to me or else. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do as I say or else, right? And the or else was them going to that playroom and her getting her bottom reddened, or even worse. You know what I mean? So a little bit of a disciplinarian is kind of how that's coming through, especially with the King of Swords coming through here. The King of Swords, funnily enough, is Godric Gryffindor. Okay? And Godric Gryffindor is daddy. He is the king of Gryffindor. It's like, do as I say, hear me roar. Very prideful kind of person as well, right? They care about what people think of them, essentially. They have a reputation for being a playboy or playgirl. It could be something coming through. Because we have the Queen of Swords coming through here. And that could be, it doesn't have to be male or female. It's a feminine versus masculine. This person could have like a scar or something that makes someone be so controlling, because I don't know what I just saw. I saw a vision of someone who like had like a gash or something in their arm. And it kind of gave me someone who's like a little bit bruised. You know what I mean? It was a very creepy visual, honestly. This person's going to be into that gore and stuff like that. Or blood at the very least. Anything else coming through? We have, like I said, the Two of Cups over here. They're filled with a lot of love. They're going to treat you very well. Absolutely. Dating is going to be a big thing for this person. Telling you I love you is going to be a big thing for this person. And then here we have the Five of Cups. This person can struggle with their emotions at times. Or they struggle with going from being sad to being happy. I love how this card here, I don't think I've ever gotten this card, but I'm getting it now. This card is the letter that Ron's mom sends him after he steals a car, and like it shows up on like TV, Wizarding TV. And I think it showed up in like, no, it showed up in Muggle TV, actually, Muggle newspaper. And then it's like a screamer, I think is what it's called. Ron's mom sends a screamer to like read him to filth and cuss him out in front of the whole entire cafeteria. And you know he's down, right, properly shamed when he ends up leaving her when the freaking paper, I think it bursts into flames when it's done talking to you. Very funny, I tell you. That's the kind of energy comes through with this person. Okay, they have like a really big mouth, like a really strong command. They want to tell you what to do all the time. Okay, like I said, disciplined person. I'm getting a little bit of a message from this Two of Cups here because we have an energy of, during this movie or during the books, when Harry was talking to this hat, we couldn't hear what they were saying. So this person could like be in their mind a lot, or they want to read your mind. You know what I mean? Or they can read your mind. That's the vibe that's coming through. Or they like having private one-on-one conversations with you. Could be another thing that's just coming through. And I made it more difficult than it needed to be. Okay. Anything else coming through for this person? This person's like a loud voice, but like I said, I'd like to tell you what to do for sure. Disciplinarian vibes, and that's something that you're into. Then we have the Three of Cups coming through here. This person can know how to hold their drink. Out of all the cards so far, this person is giving me the most, like, not immature, but the least serious, stuffy type of person. They're going to go out for a drink. They're going to get loud. They're going to get rowdy. They're going to sing karaoke. They're going to serenade you, even if it embarrasses you, right? With their friends on the night out. That kind of thing is coming through here for this person. So we have Two Cups card, Three Cups cards, Two Wands card, and One Sword card. Then we have a High Priestess. So mostly here we have Cups cards. This person is very emotive, very emotionally, I don't want to say regulated, but they have like a lot of thoughts and emotions inside their head, you know? Like, 'cause now I'm kind of getting a little bit of a headache from doing group 1 and group 2. I don't know what it is about it. I feel like I've been watching, I'm going to have my eyes too much on my screen. This person could like work in front of a screen or work on their phone a lot, and their eyes like kind of start hurting from like not having the proper glasses, you know? This person could wear glasses. Okay, now let's get into some cards about the couple you guys will be together. This person have like really thick eyebrows. They always look kind of intimidating. Could be something coming through as well. I'm definitely getting this person's all bark and no bite when it comes to certain things. If you guys are into punishment and stuff like that, this person is very much into giving that as well. And they can like go for hours and take their sweet time. High Priestess, someone who's very intuitive, like I said, but I did believe I was getting more so sentinel protector vibes. Not Queen. I was gonna say Queen McGonagall. That's crazy. Professor McGonagall was definitely someone who was very strict, very stern, very no nonsense, very much business as usual kind of energy until she had like a little glimpse of childlike energy and like, you know, forgiveness and leniency throughout the movies and books kind of thing. So this person could be usually a stickler for the rules, but there's how can I describe it? Okay, so serious most of the time, but know how to let loose and have fun, or there's like a little bit giddy side to them, right? I'm seeing the scene where she's like, I've always wanted to do that, where she like lets these sentinels go and to fight in the Hogwarts battle, you know, the Battle of Hogwarts kind of thing. So it's kind of, yeah, serious on the surface, which could always be this person's either like, yeah, because I was saying that in the beginning of the reading where you like to poke them and make them like either laugh or go a little crazy because they could be someone who's too buttoned up. They don't let the world see enough, or they don't let out a lot of stuff. So they have to kind of like keep poking them until they kind of let loose and free some of them burdens up, you know? This person could be prone to sadness or anger as well, with the Five of Cups coming through here. King of Swords kind of gives know-it-all, also gives teacher. This person could like drinking and having a good time with their friends as well. If I didn't say that. They like you. They like going out with friends. They like, you know, partying, screaming at the top of their lungs, doing karaoke, stuff like that. Traveling could definitely be a big thing as well. Learning, teaching, right? Queen of Wands is definitely getting people to do their bidding. Getting people to do their bidding. If I said it too fast last time, sorry. And then High Priestess is like very, very good at getting what they want. I just heard a high sexual drive. Here we have Death. This is the part where we get into the connection for both of you. You have the Nine of Bats. Nine of Swords. Death. For what the connection, what kind of couple you guys be together. Five of Ghosts. You know what? I think I want to reshuffle these cards. When they come back out, they'll come back out. You're definitely the couple going out, having drinks, having fun. This is definitely giving me life of the party couple, okay? That's definitely what's coming through. The couple is always traveling. You're always surrounded by friends, right? You have a lot of couple friends. You know what's kind of giving me those people who are on social media who we fall in love with as a couple individually, and then they kind of blow up, and then they kind of link up with other couples who blow up on social media. That's the kind of couples that's coming through here. A lot of couple friends, interactions, stuff like that. I feel like I've been talking a lot, child. There's something here about intimate conversations between the two of you guys. So a lot of friends, a lot of intimate conversations. Like I was talking about, bringing it back around to this Two of Cups. Harry is having a very private conversation with the hat at the top, but no one else knows what they're saying, you know? So maybe you guys have a language with your eyes. You don't have to say much, but you guys can talk to each other that kind of way, you know? With all these cups and wands, you're definitely giving like very touchy-feely couple. You're also kind of giving me a couple who doesn't mind having people watch them doing certain things, if you know what I mean. Oh boy. They're like exhibitions or whatever the thing could be called. That could be something coming through. Guys, I have to get up and take a walk because I was like blanking. Maybe this person's always tired. They work a lot, you know? Or they're always doing like, you know, physically straining activities, right? Okay, Queen of Wands, King of Swords. So maybe you're the Queen of Wands if you're the feminine, and you're the one that's very attractive, very sexy. And then we have the King of Swords, which tends to be someone who's more reserved, a little bit more quiet. So as a couple, these two cards are coming together to talk about someone who's more outgoing and then the quiet person. So that could be a vibe coming through with you guys, right? The life of the party, Queen of Wands, who gets men to bow down and do her bidding. Very attractive, very spunky, charismatic, fashionable, always well-dressed, gets along well with others. Then we have this King of Swords, which can be the total opposite of that energy. They're very reserved. They don't talk much. They don't want to be bothered by anyone. And that's why I was saying you're giving me the more, I don't want to say golden retriever energy, but you're giving me the more lively one, the connection who's always pouncing on your boyfriend when he gets too serious. You bite him, you nibble at him because you need him to react sometimes. When he gets too much in his shell and doesn't want to emote or say what's wrong, you have to kind of force it out of him. And that's what you're doing here in the couple energy. Or that could be how people are visualizing what's happening between the two of you guys. You know what I mean? But very intense conversations, very intense eye contact is coming through as well. Period. Like you guys are always drinking together, out having a good old time, right? Or like I said, you have some of the same friends. You guys are always hanging out with friends. Whew. Okay. Now I'm going to get some oracle cards. And see what comes through for you guys. Did I do the right thing? Is this your person as opposed to you? We haven't gotten into you guys as a couple yet. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was bug-a-lugging. I was thinking that I pulled cards for you guys as a couple. This is just for your person. But take that as resonant for your couple as well. You know what I mean? It is hard for this person to show when they're struggling or sad, because even though this is the Five of Cups and it's supposed to be like sad, melancholy, this person looks like they're screaming. So they're screaming on the inside in pain, but you can't tell on the outside, you know? That kind of thing. And what I was describing for maybe you and the Queen of Wands could definitely be them. They have that duality to them. Okay, this is what happens when you do too many readings back to back and now you're just like after work at that. Okay, let's get some cards. That's how I usually pull the cards, the oracle cards first in this reading. Okay, so for you guys, we're going to pull the oracle cards for how you guys are viewed as a couple, okay? How are my group threes viewed as a couple? How are they viewed as a couple? Can I just get one card, please, Spirit? One card for how they're viewed as a couple. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm not going to show you what it says. Sorry, give me a second. I'm going to pull from this deck here. But it's a room that I know well, because it's coming out a few times. My group three is how are they viewed as a couple, please, Spirit? That's just one. Can you get another one? Prone to sadness, prone to stoicism, prone to keeping to themselves. On the other hand, life of the party. Very interesting person. Okay. Is that all for this deck? Oof, no, obviously not. So 3 cards for that deck, and then we're gonna pull. Of course, you fall. How rude. My group threes, please, Spirit. How are they gonna be viewed as a couple? Or how are they viewed as a couple? Okay. Interesting. I'll definitely... I can't take all of these. Okay. What card is this? That was super duper ghetto. So you guys come and shake things up, huh? I'm sitting trying to figure out if I should take all the cards that fell out for you guys and then even more want to fall out. That just won't do. This reading is going way longer than it was supposed to, guys. I apologize. Okay, so we have these over here, and then that's it, right? Yes. And then I'm going to pull some more tarot cards for the connection between the two of you guys. So how are they viewed as a couple, please, Spirit? How are they viewed as a couple? We have the High Priestess. So very in tune with each other. You can read each other's minds, is what I'm getting. Out of all the couples, you guys are giving me the ones who can have conversations with their eyes. You don't have to say much. Telepathy could be a thing coming through as well. Here we have the Queen of Imps, Queen of Wands. You guys are very confident in each other. You guys are also a very attractive couple, okay? You have a lot of admirers. So I feel like at any given point, anyone would snatch either of you up, right? That's the kind of couple you guys are coming through as. We have the 10 of Bats, which is the 10 of Swords, okay? And then we have the Hierophant in reverse, okay? So the Hierophant upright can represent traditionality, conventionality. You guys are kind of giving unconventional, okay? I'm hearing the Emperor from Mulan. You don't meet a girl like that every dynasty, so you don't meet a couple like that every day. Okay, so very unique. The Ten of Swords has an energy of being like betrayal, painful endings, stuff like that. So maybe you are a couple who's been through painful endings. You've been through some things. We have the High Priestess coming out twice for you guys. So once for your person and once for you as a couple. So I do believe what I was saying about the High Priestess or you being a couple will resonate, you know? Okay. 10 of Bats, 10 of Swords. For how you're viewed as a couple, I don't know. Definitely unconventional, definitely untraditional. Was it you guys that I was talking about you could have like a throuple or something? Or was that group 2? I'm not 100% sure. But I do feel like unconventionality was coming through and it's coming through again. So something here about you guys dating other people. You guys are like, that's why people are confused because they could see you with another partner and they're like, okay, 10 of Swords, betrayal, backstabbing kind of thing. It's kind of like, no, I know that she's dating him and I know that he's dating her and that kind of thing. And people are kind of like, huh? You guys are okay with that? And you're like, yeah, we're open, you know, or whatever you guys are doing, you know? That kind of thing is coming through. We know everything with the High Priestess card. We know everything that's going on out there, you know? Especially with all these threes coming through. Threes represents three of a kind. It represents third party situation. So that could be definitely a vibe coming through here. And then the Hierophant in reverse is kind of giving non-commitment. So that could be a thing as well. You're a couple that doesn't really want to adhere to what society calls, you know, monogamy. You are non-monogamous or whatever you want to call it, okay? So, or consensual non-monogamy, whatever the heck. Like, they really be making that a thing. I mean, if that's what you like, go ahead, you know? But I'm like, y'all might get up all these words, child. Here we have the Call, right? So it's definitely like I was saying, you guys talk a lot. I think it was for you guys, right? You're always on the phone. You're always talking. Here we have Shock. So that's what I was kind of getting with the the 10 of Swords. People are kind of like always shocked when they find out specific things about your connection, how you're viewed as a couple. What kind of couple will you be? Here we have an egg. I don't know what this has to do with anything. I do believe this is an alien movie. And that's kind of that could be the vibe coming through. You guys are like out of this world, kind of like I said, non-monogamous, unconventional kind of couple, where it's like, okay, whether that is your dynamic between the two of you guys and how you guys are in the connection, or you could have more than one person in the connection. I think stuff like that is coming through. You know what I mean? You're the kind of couple where it's like three is a company and there's like three of you guys walking and then your husband or your boyfriend just kissed that girl, then he turned around and kissed you and people are kind of like, wait, what happened? I thought he kissed you. And it's kind of that kind of thing, confusion. You know what I mean? Okay, here we have Water coming through. I don't really know much about this movie here, but Water always gives me intuition, right? Fluidity. Things move very fluid between the two of you guys. You guys could have like an easy camaraderie, an easy vibe to you and your connection, no matter how many people are in it, child, okay? If you're not into non-monogamy or consensual non-monogamy or thruples, whatever, or polyamory, then that part is not for you, okay? Thank you. But it's kind of giving me that like very fluid. Maybe you guys look by and you guys like both guys and girls. So it's like, okay, I want this and I want that. But the egg coming through here is kind of like giving incubation. It's also giving pranking. That was kind of coming through how you egg people's cars on Halloween. So you guys could be pranksters, stuff like that. But incubation and alien eggs and stuff like that could be a vibe coming through as well. When people think of you or look at you, they think of like you guys like having kids or somebody being pregnant or something like that. You guys would make good babies, that kind of thing. Here we have I am in divine flow. We literally have yin and yang. Yeah. I am in divine flow and move in alignment. It says unity, balance, energy, and manifestation. You're a couple that's good at getting what you want. Here we have blessings and curses. We have psychic, self-love, and beauty. And then we have space, time, and self. Trust in the places you feel guided towards. Infinity, reincarnation, and the 5D. So very interesting. Maybe you guys are giving like star seeds, reincarnated, you've been here before, that kind of thing. So that unconventionality is not even, doesn't have to be a relationship. It's just who you guys are. Like, we've never seen a connection that works so well. We've never seen people who two are so in sync. We've never seen such a perfect couple with the yin and yang coming through here. There's never been just a structured, flowy connection before, where they fight and get back together the next day, where they just trust each other implicitly, where someone could have betrayed the other person, now they're still together. That kind of thing. This could be like, I don't know, like a business transaction for some of you as well. Because the relationship is a blessing and a curse is what's coming through. But this doesn't even say psychic. It says psyche, self-love, and beauty. So 12th house energy coming through. Secrets, crying. Like, you guys could have gone through a lot together. And while it would break most couples apart, you guys are still kicking. That could be something coming through as well. You've been through betrayals, you've been through lies, you've been through ups, you've been through downs, and you're still together. And a lot of couples will like break apart from those things you've been through, but you guys are still together. Okay. And then the last card for you guys, we have 𝐓𝐈𝐿, which is fertility, abundance, stuff like that. So fertility coming through again, yes. What do you have to fertilize in order to make a baby? An egg. Interesting. So people could be like, you know, excited to, you guys could be plotting to like have kids. Why am I saying plotting? What the heck? You guys could be planning to have kids. Like, what the heck? Maybe some of you are plotting to have kids, right? Your person don't want kids. You're gonna, you know, stop playing. Okay, hold on. Let me get the book for this. 𝐓𝐈𝐿. That's crazy. Okay. Perfectly suited for each other. Maybe you guys, switch gender roles. That could be a thing as well, where the woman or the feminine energy does the more masculine things, and, you know, vice versa and stuff like that. 𝐓𝐈𝐿 is 2. So the keywords are wealth, luck, abundance, energy, and fertility. Like I said, you guys are doing the do a lot. That could be an energy coming through as well. People are like, y'all be doing it all over the place. Y'all still ain't pregnant yet, or that kind of stuff. I don't know. That's what's coming through for me. So the hardworking and energetic red squirrel holds aloft her golden acorn, a lucky discovery after a successful forage. It takes effort, but she is richly rewarded and her family is well fed. Red squirrel needs to be careful about hoarding all her nuts in one place. Her treasures are safer when spread around a little. Look at that. Keeping all your eggs in one basket. You want to spread them around a little bit. Yeah, look at y'all. 𝐓𝐈𝐿 is a high energy rune, and it brings luck and fortune. As the first rune of the first 8, it speaks of beginnings. This is the rune that refers to movable property like money and possessions. You see, I was giving the example of Jada and Will and how they are supposedly still married, but they allow each other to be able to be with other people. And people are kind of like, why are you still married? And because they have an arrangement. It's unconventional, yes. Non-traditional, yes, but it's theirs. They have kids, they have this, they have a house, they have money, assets, all that kind of stuff, and they're happy doing things their own way. That's it. Okay, so in readings, it references prosperity in particular that achieved through your own efforts, okay? It can indicate financial security and successful business, property, and asset negotiations. 𝐓𝐈𝐿 can also be reduced to financial problems. 𝐓𝐈𝐿 can also mean reduced financial problems and unexpected good fortune. It is a sign of hope and plenty, success and happiness. So no matter what people think or what's going on in your life or what's going on in the connection, at the end of the day, it's all about you guys, and that's how you guys make it work. It says, do not be ashamed, not of your thorns or of your flowers, period. Yeah, no matter what goes on in the connection, you guys make it work, period. I love that. That's beautiful, though. So I hope this reading resonated. I'm sorry it was so long. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We love to have you. Hype up the video if you haven't already, if you still have any hypes left. If you want to book a reading with me, you can always do so using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye.